Taiwo Banle walks around a market in Lagos shopping for groceries. A Nigerian staple, tomatoes are at the top of her list, but Taiwo is hesitant to buy some today. A basket of tomatoes used to cost about $15 and are now selling for $135.
When you are buying one tomato for 100 naira, you might as well resort to eating food that does not require tomatoes, like okra, ilalasepo, ogbono, which we call akpon. You know, but it's outrageously expensive, and people are busy doing tomato festival in Spain, you know, swimming in tomatoes. Well, God will get us there. They should do something about the situation on ground.
Nicknamed locally as tomato Ebola, Tuta Absoluta is difficult to eliminate because the moth develops resistance to pesticides. Kaduna State, the largest tomato growing region in the country, has declared a state of emergency. Farmers have lost nearly 80% of their crop.
We don't see customers like we did before because some people say they would rather buy something else. They can't afford to buy tomatoes, but we are managing because this is the work we have been doing. We cannot abandon our livelihood. That is why we are buying in smaller quantities.
Exporters and much larger businesses have also been hit hard. A tomato paste manufacturing plant in Kaduna, owned by one of Africa's richest men, Aliko Dangote, has been forced to suspend operations. But tomato Ebola is not the only problem facing the industry.
We think more about production than we think about food security. And essentially what is starting to really show is that because farming is done at subsistence level, unaided by government, the only aid government has so far given to farmers is fertilizers and all of that. Nobody talks about extension services. Nobody talks about storage and preservation. Nobody talks about access to markets. Nobody talks about yield per hectare.
Experts say Nigeria needs to implement new policies to improve agriculture.
We should have a strategic tomato reserve. We should have strategic maize reserve, you know, and ensure that staples that are consumed across Nigerian households, there are reserves for them that can meet at least one whole year's demand should there be any crisis. Because if we had a reserve, this would have been time to open the reserve to make up for the shortfall.
Nigeria is the 14th largest producer of tomatoes in the world and the largest producer in sub-Saharan Africa. Mwongeli, CCTV.